Hello, this is Ernest Burley Jr., your certified financial planner, your chartered financial consultant, back at you again with some more great information. I'm also an NFLPA registered player financial advisor. I'm an investment advisor representative. I hold the Series 6, 63, and 7. I'm also an author on two books, author of two books on money management. One is Money Management, Easy as 1, 2, 3. That's my first book. And my second book, Money Management from Grade School to Grad School. Please go pick those up. Those are being used in various states by various organizations to teach children, youth, and adults financial principles. So I wish that you go pick those up. Go to Amazon. They're there. Sell out Amazon and make them have to order more books. Okay, appreciate your support on that. I'm also a licensed insurance agent with over 30 years experience in the industry. And I've been in business for over 25 years, helping people with financial planning, money management, insurance products, things of that nature. I have clients all across the country, from the east to the west, from the north to the south, all over the country. So no state lines forbid or prevent me from helping people in the financial services and insurance arena. I specialize in wealth management, investing, so IRAs, 401k plans, portfolios, things of that nature. Also asset protection, so protecting what you've already accumulated, and also asset growth, so growing what you've already accumulated in a wise, strategic fashion. Insurance, all different types of insurance, whether it be life insurance, long-term care, disability, business policies, church policies, auto, home, renters, condos, all that different type of stuff. And also athlete management. So like I said before, on the NFL side, I'm an NFLPA registered player financial advisor. On the NBA side, I'm an NBPA certified player agent. So if you know someone with some good skills, they can shoot, they can dribble, they can score, you have good defense, send them my way. I have a lot of connections in the NBA and also overseas. So I can get them an opportunity to fulfill their dream and play professional basketball. All right. So the purpose of this podcast is to educate, to enlighten, to empower you with clear, objective, unbiased information so you can make some great decisions for yourself, for your family, for your church, for your loved ones, for whomever you're associated with. Very, very important to have objective, clear, unbiased information so you can make good decisions, right, for yourself and for those that you love and those that you're connected to. So today's podcast is titled, How Much Cash is Too Much Cash? Let me sit on my stack of cash. Yeah, I'm sitting on a stack of cash. Is there such a thing as too much cash? Cash is king, right? That's what everyone says. Cash is king. Cash is king. I know you've heard that before, right? So being in a very strong cash position is something that's admirable. I mean, I'm not knocking that whatsoever. That is often seen as being in an admirable and a very positive position. It gives you more flexibility. It gives you more freedom, gives you more options to do various things. So, hey, I'm all for that. You want to be in a strong cash position. You're able to do so much more when you have cash. It costs money to do stuff. People try to say, don't focus on money and don't put too much money on stuff. I'm not saying go overboard with it, but don't act crazy like money does not have a very important role in your existence here on the planet. You can't do anything without money, right? You have to live somewhere, you got to pay rent or mortgage. You need to get from place to place, whether you're having your own vehicle or using public transportation. You have to eat. Food is not free. So yeah, cash and money is very important. Okay. So, but is there such a thing as having too much cash? There's a saying, too much of anything is a bad thing, right? So too much of anything. So if you have, that applies to good things too. So if you have too much water, that's bad, right? It's good to drink water. You want to hydrate, but too much water can be a bad thing too. Too many vitamins, taking too many vitamins, too much protein, too much fiber. It's too much of any good thing can be bad, but too much cash, is there such a thing? Sounds like really crazy, right? You want to stack that cash. Stacking cash, is it a bad thing? Is it ever a bad thing? Now, well, I say yes, if you have too much cash on hand. So it sounds good to be sitting on a bunch of cash, sitting on my box, big old box of cash. That sounds really good. But having cash and being in a strong cash position doesn't make you any gains. Just cash sitting by itself or in a bank account doesn't make you any money. If you're not making money on your money, you're really hurting yourself. If inflation is like 3% a year, inflation averages about 3 to 4% a year, right? The recent headline has it at 7.9%, almost 8% is the current inflation rate. How about them apples, right? So just think about this. If you have your money sitting somewhere making nothing or 0.1% to 1%, and inflation is 3 to 4% or currently almost 8%, do you see how that's hurting yourself? That's hurting you because you're not keeping up with the cost of things. So if you have $1,000 this year and your basket of goods is going to cost you $1,080 because it's 8% interest rate, or $1,040, I mean, then you're going to be in a bad position, right? Or if we make it even a more calculable number, $100, 4% of $100 is $4, right? So something that costs $100 today costs $104 down the line. If it's 4% interest rate or 8% interest rate, $8 more. So $108. But if your $100 is sitting there making nothing, making $1 or less, now you see what I mean. You're going to be behind the curve. So let's not do this. You want your cash to be making money for you. Now, I do recommend people keep at least 1 year of their expenses in cash. So if your expenses, monthly expenses are, your normal monthly expenses are $5,000 per month, 5 times 12 months, that's $60,000. I would recommend you have that amount in cash. And in some situations, like if I'm speaking with an NFL player, I recommend they have at least 2 years of their expenses in cash because of their situation. They're in a very peculiar situation. They often have a lot of non-guaranteed money, and they're at a high risk of injury at any time, at any play, anytime. It could be practice squad, it could be a scrimmage, it could be in an actual game. The guys get hurt, a lot of that non-guaranteed money goes out the window. So you have to be a little bit more conservative in that situation. But sometimes I have more conservative situations with retirees too, where I say, yeah, maybe we need to put probably 2 years of your expenses, 2 years of cash of your expenses away for emergency type situations, for say if the investment world is going kind of crazy and your investments are down, you want to pull from that cash instead of pulling from your investments. So it depends on the person's income, the source of income, like if it's guaranteed income from a pension or Social Security or what have you, that makes a difference than someone not having those guaranteed sources of income to meet their financial needs. So it totally depends on the person's situation, but just having too much cash sitting around, not making money for you, you have $100,000 making 1%, making $1,000, and inflation is $3,000 or $4,000, 3 or 4%, now currently almost 8%. You see how that's not, cash is not king in that situation, right? Now, take what I'm saying, don't take it out of context. Now, cash is a good thing. It does present you with a lot of flexibility, a lot of options, and it does provide that for you. I'm not saying cash is bad. I'm saying having too much cash sitting doing nothing is bad. So if you do have a lot of excess cash, at least have that money somewhere in a diversified portfolio making money for you, the money that's outside of your emergency savings cash. The money that you have for emergency savings, the 2 years of your expenses or 1 year of your expenses, that should be in an FDIC insured institution, in a bank account where you know you're not going to make a lot of money with that money, but you know it's stable and it's not going to go anywhere. It's not subject to the wiles of the market. Anything beyond that cash should be making money for you. Okay, you can't be in a situation where you have, I've had people call me, sometimes they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and they know they need to be doing something with it. So they call me for advice, and then we put a certain amount of that into a portfolio so they can make some money going forward, have some good potential gains going forward. So that's it. I just wanted to address that topic. Is how much cash is too much cash? To me, in my humble opinion, if you have more than 2 years of your expenses in cash, that's too much in cash, right? Normally 1 year is fine, but I would need to take a look at the total financial picture of the individual to see if 1 year would be fine, because for some people, 1 year of cash is fine. I have a lot of clients, they call their retirees, they have guaranteed money coming in every month that exceeds their current income. I mean, it exceeds their current expenses, and they have a pile of cash on top of that. So everyone's situation is different, right? But going beyond 2 years of cash, I don't think that's a good thing, right? So there you go. That is it for today's podcast. There is a such thing as there being too much cash on hand. All right. So I thank you guys for listening in. The recap is there is a such a thing as having too much cash, right? How much cash is too much cash? Normally, more than 2 years of your expenses in cash is too much, in my humble opinion. But like I said, that depends on everyone. Sometimes 1 year, sometimes more than 1 year is too much. It depends on the situation. Is it an NFL player or is it a retiree? What are the sources of income? Things of that nature. How much debt does the person have? Things of that nature, right? So we'll take a look at everything to see. But as a general rule of thumb, 1 year of your expenses in cash, sometimes 2 years of your expenses in cash is is plenty. Beyond that, you're hurting yourself because you're not keeping up with inflation, because banks aren't paying you an interest rate enough to keep up with inflation on that free cash that you have sitting around. Okay. Takeaways: be wise about that excess cash and put it into something that's going to, give you some good potential returns, right? I want to thank you guys for listening. I ask that you forward this podcast to others and ask them to do the same, and so on and so on and so on. Forward it to your friends, to your family, to your church members, to your coworkers, to your acquaintances all across the country so they can spread it and do the same thing. Ask them to spread the podcast also. All my podcasts are on YouTube, so I ask that you go to YouTube and subscribe. I appreciate it. The message is getting out there, so like every day I see more subscribers, so I really appreciate that. I ask that you subscribe. You go to my channel. It's just my name, Ernest Burley Jr. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and then ask your friends, your family members, your church members, your cohorts, your coworkers, everyone to go to this guy's YouTube channel, Ernest Burley Jr., and subscribe and click through there and take a look at all the podcasts that are there. Talk about a wide array of things, everything from real estate to infinite banking, tax breaks, whether you should buy a vehicle versus leasing a vehicle, should you pay off your mortgage early, all different types of insurance, because insurance, there's a lot of different types of insurance plans, especially life insurance. You have to be very up to speed on the different types of plans there. I'll talk about business owners, entrepreneurship, increasing your credit score, beneficiaries versus wills and trusts, a whole wide array of information on there, different topics for you to take a look at. Some are podcasts, but then I have some 1-minute snippets on there also, so you can get some quick, brief information. It won't take you a lot of time whatsoever. So please go to the channel, subscribe, and ask all of your friends and neighbors and cohorts and church members to do the same. If you want to connect with me, very easy to do. My email address is ernest@ernestburleyjr.com, just my first name at my full name.com. So that's ERNEST@ERNESTBURLEYJR.com. Again, ernest@ernestburleyjr.com. Well, the number to my firm is 301-262-2600. Again, that's 301-262-2600. My website is just my name, ernestburley.com or ernestburleyjr.com. Whichever one you want to click, type in, it will go to the same website, okay? That's it for today's podcast. I have to read off some information to you since I mentioned my credentials as a financial planner, financial investment advisor, and things of that nature. Okay, so here we go. Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc., 13621 Annapolis Road in Bowie, Maryland, 20720. That's where my firm is located outside DC. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc. is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group, Inc. This material is not intended as an offer or solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security or other financial instrument. Past performance does not guarantee future performance. All the views expressed are those of Ernest Burley Jr., myself, and Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc., and not those of Next Financial Group, Inc. Next Financial Group, Inc. does not provide tax advice. And that's it for my disclosure. That's it for today's podcast. Hope you got some great information there. And I hope you guys tune in to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. Click around in there, subscribe, and have all your friends, family members, church members, coworkers to do the same. And reach out to me, email, call if you have any questions or any information on the site, okay? Hey, I'll look out for y'all next time. I'll look forward to speaking to you next go round. I do these every week. So until next time, y'all be safe out there and y'all take care, okay? This is Ernest Burley Jr., your certified financial planner, your chartered financial consultant, your NFLPA registered player financial advisor, and a few other things more. Signing off, your author of 2 books on money management. Okay, pick those up. Until next time, y'all take care. Be safe out there, okay?